you, John, because something that I come across a lot is what exercise is right for mothers, what exercise is right for detoxification. Like nutrition, there is so much misinformation out there about exercise, and really important. Do you want to just talk about what you do and your business?
Well, yes, sure. I'll let you know that I've been a personal trainer now for 27 years. So this has just really been a lifetime thing for me. I've been in fitness and wellness my whole life. And my wife and I, we both do personal training together. We run our business from our home. That way we can manage our family best. So we're accustomed to juggling our family and still fitting in fitness and wellness into our lifestyle as well too. So we can appreciate managing 3 kids as well ourselves. And also my wife and I are also detoxifying ourselves. We have been for this year now. And so we also understand the challenges of juggling that kind of detoxification lifestyle along with their exercise. And I think that makes a big difference for the type of exercise that you need to do. And I want to just have an opportunity tonight to kind of clear some of the confusion and misconception that's out there, because, you know, if you're following the typical North American diet, the SAD diet, then, you know, some of those rules may apply. However, if you were following a detoxification diet, I don't think you need to, you know, fall under some of the same old school mentalities that are kind of being traded around in the gym.
Definitely, yeah. I think it's a new paradigm of exercise and nourishing your body and healing your body like we've not seen.
Exactly. It's a completely new paradigm. It's a new mindset. It's a new exercise, and now it also includes that spiritual energy, that deep root energy that happens when we start to detoxify the incorrect elements from our body.
Yeah, definitely.
Hey, Hannah. So ready to move to, I've got a little PowerPoint presentation I'd love to share.
Yes, please do.
Okay. So I'm just give me an opportunity here to pull this up. And yes, here we are. I think there's about eight or so things that I've got on my PowerPoint here that I wanted to talk to, and then we could spend a little bit of time doing a little short exercise, 20 to 30 minute workout that we could do. And you know, it's a workout that you should be able to do without utilizing a whole bunch of weight, and it should be something you should be able to do without taking up a whole pile of time, and so you should be able to fit it into your program, into your lifestyle. At least I'm trying to encourage people to do 2 times a week of strength training, at least 2 times. I always tell people that they should really strive to exercise 4 days a week if they can. And that doesn't mean it always has to be strength training. It could be 2 days of this kind of strength training program that we're doing tonight. And then it could be 2 days of something that's maybe aerobic, walk jogging, or, you know, going to the gym and jumping on the treadmill, or taking a group class session, or riding a bike, or some other sort of activity that whatever someone prefers, if they like to go hiking. But I try to tell people, if there's 7 days in a week, you should strive to try to be active more days than inactive. So I always tell people 4 days is that tipping point. And I try to encourage the same thing with the detoxification process. I don't think anyone, especially people getting started, are going to be, you know, bang on perfect with their detoxification process right off the bat. But I say, you know what, strive to be as close to the process as you can, for sure, at least 4 days of the week. If that's kind of your target, where you're going to try to really buckle down into your fasting, or buckle down into your fruit and your vegetables, and trying to keep all the toxic elements out, really, really strive to make sure that you've got those 4 days.
Yeah, that's great.
All right. So the first thing I want to address is the protein thing. I guess you must have talked to everybody about how...
Yeah, I've been going through it, but it's good to hear it from another point of view, and especially from someone that's done the whole bodybuilding.
I did it. Yes, I lived it for 30 years. I lived it for 30 years, right up to that, national level bodybuilding, international level bodybuilding. So I did consume protein 3 to 5 times, 6 times a day. And at one point I was doing a dozen eggs in the morning and a dozen eggs at night. So I really lived this protein idea right to the limit. And as soon as I kind of got a new idea about, our bodies need to be alkaline and they need to be conductive. So in order for us to create movement, we've got to be able to send electrical impulse through our body. And so, for eating something like animal protein, the animal is dead. That protein is no longer alive. Those cells that we're consuming are no longer alive. We cannot create live cells out of something that is dead.
Yes.
Something that is decomposing. You cannot take something dead and then turn it into something live. Like, only God is capable of doing that. Only the power that holds the universe together does that. We can't do it. So eating protein, animal protein, is really not have any functional benefit for you for your strength training. So that protein myth, just kind of let that go. Everyone always worries, how do I get my protein on this detoxification program? Don't worry about that. You'll get all of the protein that you need from your fruits and your vegetables, and you'll get much more high quality nutrient and high vibration. Yeah. The sugar and the body fat myth. I know as a personal trainer for 27 years, that for many years I told a lot of people to stay away from fruit and stay away from sugar. Everyone says stay away from the fruit juices, and now I realize the difference between fruit sugar and all of the other sugars. Fructose is such a very unique, special sugar for the body, and our bodies need it, and our bodies thrive on it. Fructose is different because it can enter into the cell without insulin, so which means it can be metabolized and utilized for energy faster and easier than any other sugar in the body. And, we are just like our chimpanzees, our closest relatives, the primates, the gorilla, the silverback gorilla, and the orangutan, and they survive and grow very big and strong and powerful without eating meat and using 95% fruit. So don't worry about the sugar. It's not going to have any negative effect for your fat burning at all.
Yeah, that's such a big one, because I hear it all the time about I can't eat fruit, I'm going to put on weight, I can't eat fruit. We hear it all the time.
Isn't this the confusion? Isn't this the confusion?
I did this myself for years. I said, well, I want to eat chocolate, so I won't eat fruit. So I'll eat my low sugar chocolate, but I won't eat fruit. Yes. And I mean, ludicrous things that we do, thinking that that's the right way of, fueling our bodies.
Yes.
We demonize the fruit, and we still keep in the unhealthy sugars.
Exactly. So fantastic to have that realization now, and thank goodness we have that realization now. And now we can move forward and really try to get those thoughts out of our head, because the detoxification process is so much a mental change as well as it is a movement and an energetic change in our bodies. So we've got to change our minds. So don't worry about the sugar and the weight loss. About the weight loss specifically, once you get into the detoxification process and your body starts to rid itself of toxic elements, you'll probably find that your weight starts to go down quite quickly. Like, in that first 30 to 60 days, it's very possible to lose that 9 to 30 pounds. It is very possible. And not have to worry about losing fat. What you're really losing is water, but it's inflammation. It's inflamed water, inflammation in the body that's in the lymphatic system. So it's not good weight that you have to worry about in any way. Sometimes people worry that they're losing weight too quickly. Not to worry about that kind of weight loss. And the weight that you're losing is very often fat or just fluid. So fecal matter, fecal waste, yeast, colon debris, mucus, mucoid plaque, all of that stuff is what you're losing, and fat. And the fat is often a buffer on the body because the body is acidic. So as soon as you start making your body more alkaline, you'll find that the fat starts to disappear. People sometimes contact me for toning. They talk about toning. I always say that, listen, your muscles are toned underneath there. You've just got to take the fat off of it, and the muscles will be toned underneath. And then if you're combining it with some strength training to really increase the tone to its maximum, you don't have to worry about those muscles being untoned underneath. They will be toned. It's just that loose layer of body fat that we want to remove that's on top of your fat. Okay? So the toning up will happen. You don't have to use a lot of heavy weights. I know in my past, it was always that idea that we had to, build more muscle to speed up the metabolism and have the body burning more calories. This is the idea, again, like really consumed with the caloric intake. And I think once you start getting into the detoxification process, that you don't have to worry about the calories so much, and the intensity doesn't need to be as high and as vigorous, and the weights don't have to be as heavy and the program doesn't need to be nearly as destructive, especially when you're going through the detoxification process. And sometimes you may find that there's kind of lows and highs in the energy.
Yeah, I think it's really important to know that when you're on your fasting days or when you're on your really pulling stages, to really listen into the body and rest and not push too far.
If needed, absolutely. If you need that quieter day, then, and it's supposed to be an exercise day, then for sure keep the weights lighter. You don't have to go in there and kill yourself all of the time. It's not necessary. You will be losing the weight quickly. I think if you can get into the strength training portion, like I say, at least 2 days. If you want to do 3 or 4, okay. But again, not super heavy with the weights. You're trying to push yourself harder by, I think, doing higher repetitions. So you can take the light weights and you can do your repetitions of 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, or even 100 repetitions. I don't have a problem doing that. I often do things like that in my program. I often just work with a clock rather than counting repetitions at all. So I'll do, 30 seconds, 60 seconds, or 90 seconds of an exercise rather than even worrying about repetitions. But just going through the repetitions is what's going to help to dislodge mucus and inflammation in your body and help it to leave your body more quickly and easily. So it doesn't have to be this super high, heavy, high intensity destructive program, especially if we're trying to heal our bodies, if we're trying to heal our adrenal glands. We've been coming off of maybe like a very high stress lifestyle, busy with work, busy with families, busy with kids, juggling a lot, and the body's already overstressed. Cortisol levels are already high. We may be using caffeine or stimulants like this or green tea. If we've been doing that for any extended period of time, the adrenals could be compromised. And we don't want to now put you into a program that's going to add to higher additional stress to the body. I think the program needs to be something that is in alignment with you trying to heal your body. So not super destructive. High reps versus the low reps.
I would just add there that it's not necessarily do you have adrenal fatigue, but more what level do you have.
Right. I think that's excellent.
the average person has a very stressful life, and the majority of people have been eating high protein, high sugar, high caffeine ways of eating for a long period of time, which puts
Yes.
massive stress on the adrenals and kidneys. So
Right.
when we do this lifestyle, it's about allowing the body to rest and detoxify and strengthen, as opposed to previously we've been in a lifestyle where we've just been overstimulated, and then the exercise is another thing to overstimulate the body.
Right. Continuing with further overstimulation in the workout as well too. So I don't think that this is the way that we want to go at all. Let's take the reps higher, take the weights lower, and modify the intensity a little bit. Training frequency, I already mentioned. I think you should be striving for 4 days of activity as kind of your baseline. It could be 2 strength training days and 2 aerobic days.
Yeah, that just takes the pressure off of especially mums in the autism community, where time is not always there to put yourself first, to know that you don't have to do it every day and that it can be shorter workouts. I think is really empowering, so that it doesn't become this thing that you put into the too hard basket.
Yes, that's excellent.
I have to do an hour. I have to, let's swap that, change the mindset around what it has to be, and, evolve it to the lives that we have.
Right. It can fit into the life. You can get your workout done in 20 minutes, and that's, 20 to 30 minutes, you should be able to get it done. I would like to get an opportunity to do a little workout with some people today. Is that possible?
That would be amazing. Yes.
Great. All right. Let's do that then. Just move my camera here. All right. And
what a treat, ladies. Personal training.
Can you see me there all right? Can you hear me all right?
Yep, great.
All right. So I'm just going to start off down on my mat. I'm going to start my clock up here. So that's keeping track of our time. That's, we can do exercises for 30 seconds or 60 seconds or 90 seconds. And that way we don't have to worry so much about the repetitions. And that way we can focus more on the movement and on the breathing. And we can let go of all the focus on counting repetitions. It's not that we can't do repetition counting. We can do that as well too. And if that's the case, the repetitions are 20 or 30 or 40 or 50 repetitions. I'm just going to start off by warming up my posterior chain. So kind of all the muscles along the back of my body. Especially when you're getting started, I really like to warm up a beginner by warming up the back of the body. People, a lot of people have lower back pains. A lot of people have neck pain, shoulder pain. I think it's important that you want to address the back of the body during your warm-up to make sure that, if you have any situations of weakness, circumstances of weakness, that we're kind of warming that area up right away. We don't run into any problems. And I'll just do that, alternating sides, really extend, lift my hand high, lift my heel high, and I try to inhale as I extend my body, and I try to exhale as my hand comes back to the floor. There we go. That's 60 seconds there. Okay, so now I'm just going to drop over onto my back, and I'm going to be warming up my core with some leg raises there. I'm going to put my hands under my bump to protect my spine a little bit. I always want to try to keep my lower back flat to the floor. I'm trying to keep my legs as straight as I can, and I'm trying to lower them as low as I can. Again, if you have lower back problems, then maybe you can't take it all the way to the floor. Maybe you've got to stop right there. And that's fine. If that's the range of motion that you need to work with right now, that's wonderful. Just work right there if you need to. A lot of people are on the other end that they feel more comfortable to work down here. And if that's the case, that kind of works better.
Moderation that you can do
to do it that way.
Sorry, John, is there a moderation you can do for anyone that's got, really weak cores or back problems from after?
So if you've got real problems with the core, then we go support it. So you kind of grab the knee there and pull the knee in that way. Support it that way, right? Another way, if you're having problems with doing abdominal work, is I like to just maybe just hold the legs up like this, and you could just work this way, reaching towards the toe. You know, all of these activities are all warming up my core. So I want to get my core warm. I got the back of my body warm. Now I'm working over to the side. I'm going to lift my hip up off the ground, holding myself sideways there. Give you a better view. Sideways, my hips off the ground, and then I'm just raising my top leg. That's going to be great for my hips. Okay, my glute medius, my glute minimus. That's all of my muscles for balance, agility, you know, changing direction. If you're out playing sports with the kids, you want to play some basketball with the kids, or you want to play a little soccer with the kids, you want to change direction. These are the muscles that are important for that. And you know, when we get a little bit older and we stop playing sports, these are the areas that become very weak and detrained. So they can utilize a little bit of strengthening. These are core muscles, and all of the core muscles need to be worked and strengthened. If we can get stronger from within the center, from our core, we will be able to do everything with more ease and with more grace, with more dexterity, and with more coordination. So there's a little simple core warm-up. My body's starting to heat up a little bit now, and I've kind of warmed up all of the muscles around my hip girdle, because those are the muscles that I feel tend to be linked to that lower back. And if you have any lower back issues, I really want to try to warm all of that up straight away. Next, I'm going to get myself down in a high plank position. I'm going to start bringing my legs into the activity with some flexibility for my legs. I'm going to lunge right forward, get my front foot flat on the floor. I really want to keep my front foot flat on the floor. I'm going to lunge forward and stretch out my inner thighs. I'll show you the side view there. I call that the spider lunge. I try to straighten out my back leg. Get both my hands to the instep. Step up. Straighten out my back leg. Step up. Straighten out my back leg. And my body temperature is starting to raise up a little bit now. My body's starting to wake up. My muscles are stretching out. So I'm warming up those lower back muscles so I don't have any problems with that. I'm increasing my range of motion, my flexibility. I'm focusing on my breathing. And I'm doing my activities for about 60 seconds. So my heart rate's starting to pick up now. Heart's starting to pump. I'm starting to breathe a little bit. My body temperature is starting to raise. If you can do a workout like this first thing in the morning, that's wonderful for stimulating your metabolism, right? First thing in the morning, that gets your body set to burn fat for your day. So now I'm up. I'm just leaning over to one side, leaning over to the other side. See, I've got my hands to either side of my foot. Lean over to the other side, hands to either side of the foot. One leg's going to straighten out. Other leg's going to straighten out. Okay, leaning over to one side, leaning over to the other side. I'm working on my inner thighs. I'm working on my glutes. Ladies want to tone up inner thighs and glutes. Hear that all the time. Both feet are flat on the floor. I'm just leaning over to one side as far as I can. As I start to warm up more, I find I can probably lean over a little further. Okay, so I'm still kind of just warming up my body, increasing my range of motion as the body warms up.
So is this what we call functioning movements, natural function movements?
Yes, functional movements, right. Rather than training my body to work on, you know, a body part routine, which is what, you know, we have always done in the past, you know, but the body doesn't work in individual parts. The body works, you know, collectively. So I want to try to do exercises that work the body collectively, and I want to move the body through kind of all of the functions that it's capable of doing. That's functional training. So as I age, I want to try to maintain my body's ability to do things. So I want to make sure I do everything that my body's capable of doing. I don't want to leave something out. If I don't use it, I'll lose it. If I don't train it, it will detrain. So I want to make sure that I cover everything that my body's capable of doing, so that I don't, as I age, lose any ability to do anything. So here's a great one. So, you know, as we get older, balance. Balance is important, okay? People fall down and break their hips all the time, okay? This is the job of the glute, medius and minimus. You've got to work on that glute with some balance training, right? There's a low impact way. Now, one thing I tell people when they're getting started, you know, you could use a box, something like this. That kind of gives me a little bit of support. I don't have to go all the way down to the floor, right? You could use a chair. You could use a step, right? If you wanted to. Other thing that you could do is you could also maybe put your foot down on the floor every time your hands come over your head. You just try to anchor yourself there. Each time you could just anchor yourself, because at the beginning you're probably not going to be, you know, able to be able to do that with ease at the start. If you want to make it more intense, you add that. Whoa, I'm getting crazy. Oh my gosh, look at that. Okay, so getting my heart rate up. I'm working on my balance, I'm working on my stability. My body is ready to go. I want to work out now. I'm going to pick up the intensity a little bit. We're going to start doing some squats. I'm going to drop my butt down as low as I can, so I want to work through as full a range of motion as I can. Both feet on the floor. That's going to work through a nice full range of motion with my squats. And could be 10 to 20 squats. I've got my clock back there. I'm going to go for another 30 seconds of full squats there. That's going to really now get those big muscles of the legs, those quads and hamstrings and glutes. So that's going to get my heart pumping more now that my body's getting warm. Let's go 5 more seconds. Squats. Great. Okay, going further. Got one leg back on the toe, so I'm balancing. I want to sink my back knee down as low as I can. If you can get all the way down, wonderful. If you're just getting started, hey, great, might be a little one. I want to keep my front foot really grounded down though, to that front heel, grounded down into the ground. Switching sides. 30 seconds over here, sinking my back knee, working on that lunge. Big muscles, quads, hamstrings, glutes. My heart's starting to pump.
What I love about this workout is that it's not, you know, it's really working every part of the body, and it's moving the lymphatic system, and it's stimulating the body and releasing the trapped energy from the hips, which often we hold. Wonderful. But it's not. It's also not unachievable. You know, we've all got space in our house that we can do this. You know, we don't even need a mat. We can just do it straight on the carpet. Simple.
It's not. There's no reason why you can't do this. And I mean, all you need is maybe some light dumbbells, some 5, some 8, some 10 pounders. Strongest ladies probably with 12s or 15s for sure. Gentlemen with 15s or 20s tops, I'm sure they can get a wonderful workout in 20 to 30 minutes. So again, here's a higher intensity core activity. Again, if you want to move to the right, or if this is more suitable for you, right. There's another one that may work. You know, I'm just working on this jackknife version. Trying to do 60 seconds of jackknife. There we go. Let's go 30 seconds more. Now my body's hot. I'm pushing my core a bit here.
And it's okay to do the modified versions, would you say, especially if we've got mothers with weak adrenals?
Absolutely. If this version is not right for you and your back, then absolutely, you're there. You're there, no problem. Whichever version is right for you, as you get stronger, as you continue, you'll find you'll be able to do the harder, more challenging versions. It's just going to take you, I tell people, 3 to 6 weeks to get the conditioning. Once you've got the conditioning, then you'll be able to step it up to the more intense versions of the exercises. Here's the mountain climber, right? If that's too much for you, if you start to hit fatigue, you can't do it for a minute, touch the knees down, take a break, that's okay. Or just maybe hold the plank. Maybe the high plank is enough. Try to keep my hips in line with my heels and my shoulders, a nice straight line from my shoulders down to my heels as I tuck my knees towards my elbows. Want to make it more challenging? Whoop! There's a push-up. You can do 5 mountain climbers and a push-up. And you want to add the push-up in there as well too.
Could you maybe show us how to do a safe push-up with a weak core?
All right, so yeah, if you can't do that full push-up on your toes, keeping your body nice straight line is what you want to do with your push-up. You can't get that yet, then we're down on our knees. But still, it's a straight line with my body. I don't have my butt way up in the air, and I'm not doing push-ups like that.
Yeah.
I want to try and get my hips coming forward so my body's still in a nice straight line. Still see how my body's in a straight line. So I'm still bringing that entire straight line towards the floor. Okay, there's my knee push-ups. Wonderful. May allow you to get more depth into your push-up, and that's great. So all of that core plank position being on my front like that, that's all strengthening all along the front of my body. All of those muscles along the front of my body working together collectively together there. So I'm sweating and getting hot. I want to try and do something for the back of my body now. So we could get into some hip work. Right, there's back onto those glutes, those balance muscles, that agility. Let's go 30 seconds off to the side on one side, and 30 seconds off to the side on the other, just to try to get as many repetitions as I can there. Maybe 30, maybe 40, maybe 50 repetitions, maybe 20, whatever's right for you if you don't have a clock, or maybe just 30 seconds on one side, 30 seconds on the other side. Ooh, it's starting to get hot in here.
John, do you get your children involved with your workouts? Because obviously
yes.
With busy mums, sometimes it's hard to be left alone. I know that whenever I do anything, any of my Qigong or yoga or workouts at home, I often have the kids jumping all over me and wanting to join in.
Yeah, unfortunately for busy moms with young kids, it is hard to find the time. Maybe when the kids fall asleep, maybe when the kids are at school, maybe you can get some private time. If you can get some private time, moms, I think it's important that you do get that. If you could find that time, I think it's important for you. Maybe it's first thing in the morning when everyone's asleep. Maybe it's at night when they go to bed. Maybe after putting to bed, like maybe that's when you can get your time. But if you can't, if you have to, do it with the kids, that can work too. We do our family workouts, our past family workouts, where the kids are involved as well too. But definitely mom gets her time and dad gets their time so that we're both in our best space.
Yeah.
And then we also do family time as well too. It can happen, but I encourage moms to try to find some space for themselves in their schedule, to try to have some time to strengthen their own self. So that was really good for the back of the body again, but very low in the back of my body. So I want to try and get something for the upper back of my body here. There's like a great Superman exercise. That's a super one. You really want to work on all of the muscles along your spine, the erectors, Everybody's erectors are weak. Everybody's been hunched over at the computer too much, and we're all too tight along the front of our bodies. So our pectorals and our shoulders are too tight, and our erectors along our spine that keep us tall and strong, they've gotten too weak. So there's a great one for working those upper back posture muscles. Woo!
John, can you talk into when the best time is to exercise? Because I have been teaching my mothers that it's really important to exercise before you eat so that you're really burning through the excess glucose and moving the body's energy, as opposed to what I would say is the old paradigm of like, have your shake before you go for your workout.
Yeah, working out on empty is excellent. When the blood sugar is lowest like that, the body's going to burn the most fat. When the blood sugar is lowest, there's the most growth hormone around. If you can do a vigorous workout first thing in the morning, that's going to stimulate the best metabolic hormones, your epinephrine, norepinephrine. It's going to get your body burning the most fat that way for sure. However, that is the best, but I don't want to, sometimes when you say something is the best, then people think that, well, then I can't do that, so that means that I'm not good. So I also like to say, like, you're better off to exercise than not to exercise. So don't skip it because you can't do it in the morning. If it has to be at night, that's okay too. Okay, don't skip it. All right, so I'm hot. My heart's pumping. My body's feeling good. I'm all warmed up. Now I'm going to try to start to push myself a little bit more. So this is where I'm going to try to add in a little bit of jumping now. So I'm going to be doing some squat jumps for 30 seconds. If you can't jump like that, maybe just get up on your tippy toes, down and up onto your tippy toes, right? If you can't even drop as deep into your squat, maybe you're just doing little ones. Your squats can be little ones like that, right? For me, I'm trying to push now. I'm right into my workout. My body's all ready to go. You know, this last 10 minutes, I want to try to give it a little bit here. So here is a jump lunge. So I'm down into a lunge, and then I'm out to the other side, jumping from one side to the other side. There's my most vigorous version of the lunge. If that's too much, here's a jump lunge. I go from here to here, kind of halfway. That's kind of the middle of the way with the jump lunge, right? Or if that's too much, then it's just alternate reverse lunges. And it doesn't have to be deep, even if you're just getting started, right? But I got to get myself going a little bit here. You know, it's right down at the end of my workout, towards the end of my workout. I want to make sure that I really drive up my heart rate and get that ultimate fat burning effect going on in my body. All right.
Is that what they call a HIIT workout?
Sorry?
Is that what they call a HIIT workout, high impact?
Right. That's that high intensity interval, right? That's very effective for really burning fat and really restarting the metabolic process. And if you can do that first thing in the day, get your body really revved up like that right at the beginning. Wonderful, getting some HIIT into your workout. Bringing out some dumbbells. I got a couple of 15-pound dumbbells, nothing super heavy. Ladies are probably good with some 5s or 8s or 10s. And here's like a lunge and press.
So if we don't have a dumbbell, a bottle of water.
Yes, a couple bottles of water, a couple cans, soup cans could work.
The ones that we're not eating, of course.
What's that?
The ones that we're not eating, that we've cleaned out of our cupboards, we can keep for our dumbbell.
Not the ones you're eating, of course. Maybe a can of, I don't know, maybe a can of pears or something. I don't know, maybe a can of I don't know what you would eat in a can that would be really good for your diet, but maybe some lentils. I don't know. Like, it's better to be eat them raw, but the live ones. But I don't know if you've got any cans kicking around for the kids. They're on detox too. I'm not sure.
They are on detox too. There should be no cans. But anyway,
there shouldn't really be any cans in the house. So it's bottles of water then for you guys. All right, so maybe 30 seconds on each side. That's great. See, I was using my lower body and my upper body together, and that is the best. The jumping, awesome. The lower body and upper body together, that gets the whole body working together. See, when I'm using my lower body, biggest muscles, burn the most calories, fastest amount of time, drive the heart rate up as high as possible. Got the dumbbells in the hands. I'm getting my shoulders involved too. When my lower body and my upper body are working together, now my middle has got to brace and hold in order to allow the power from my lower body to come up into my upper body. I've got to hold real tight in the middle there to allow that power to come up. So, you know, it ends up using all of the muscles in my body. And that's great for effective, efficient, calorie burning, high intensity activity. You can hear it in my voice, my heart's pumping. Okay, so got my light dumbbells, leaning forward, pulling my elbows back. 15, 20, 30 repetitions, depending on the size of the dumbbells that you've got. I'm trying to keep my lower back. I'm trying to keep my back still. I'm not moving my torso, right? I'm pulling my arms back. So I'm working on my back muscles, my shoulder muscles, the backs of my arms are all working, but I'm not wiggling up and down with the lower back, right? The lower back is still. I'm lunging forward, I'm holding still, I'm balancing. I'm working on balance and stability and upper body strength there. All right, back muscles, shoulder muscles, core muscles, chest muscles. We need some pressing. I'm dropping myself back down. Here's a staggered push-up of one hand forward, one hand back. We can do this on our knees if we had to.
That seems a little advanced.
A little advanced. See that? It could be a little one. It doesn't have to be a big one. It could be a little one, and it could be on our knees.
Oh yeah, that's great.
That's good? Something like that, right? Right, another one. Oh, close, wide push-ups. You got a wide push-up, and then a close push-up where I try to keep my elbows alongside my body. You may not be able to get so deep into it, but those close push-ups, they're great for the backs of your arms. All right, and from there, I'll keep on the backs of my arms and my knees there. I'll just take that dumbbell right down behind my head, extend over my head, working on the backs of my arms some more, as if they hadn't had enough. Oh my gosh, I can't take it anymore. I'm gonna die. Hannah, you're killing me. Give me a break. All right, so my triceps, they're feeling it. Let's finish off. I'm gonna get myself back into plank position. I'm gonna pull that dumbbell back. Pull that dumbbell back. Working on my core, taking one arm off. If this is too advanced to pull the dumbbell while in the plank position, then I get people to just hold the plank or just plank arm release without the dumbbell, right? Knee plank if we have to, if we start to hit fatigue, right? Another variation, go further, rotating, add some flexibility, range of motion to the exercise. Open up my chest and shoulders, trading out, carrying the weight in one arm, carrying the weight in the other. Or one leg up and the other leg up. Woo! Anna, you're killing me. I can't take it anymore.
You're doing good.
And then you guys, if you ever need to slow the pace down, take the pace down, you can never go wrong adding some flexibility. Your body is always benefiting. You can catch your breath there. If you ever need to catch your breath, just get yourself into a position and just breathe. When you get yourself into a position, gravity does the work, and you're focusing on your breath. You just allow those muscles to lengthen out just by breathing in the position and allowing it to happen. Allowing your body to slow down. Head over to one side, grab the knee, leg as straight as I can. Just breathing.
How important would you say is stretching daily?
Well, you know, when we wake up in the morning, we've got so much tightness often in our bodies from sleeping in bed all night. So it's wonderful to loosen the body up and increase the range of motion. You know, if you've got pain-free movement, it makes a happier day a lot easier. And, you know, being in the right mood and energy and framework is all so important for creating the life that we really want, right? We want to be in the right space energetically. When we're in pain, it's hard to be patient with our kids or our loved ones, right? So, you know, waking up and taking that time to loosen up your body, exercise, stretch out your body, that's going to pay you dividends towards the end of your day when the kids get home from school, right?
Yeah.
Rolling out those arms, nice big arm circles, forward circles, backward circles, right? Shoulder rolls, backwards and forward shoulder rolls, and neck rolls, great big neck circle, all the way back, all the way around, and the other way, full range of motion, all the way around. Open up those arms, stretch out the chest.
John, how have you found your inflammation since changing over to this way of eating, your recovery time and your muscles, the feeling of your muscles?
Flexibility increased, ability to run further, longer, even after a fast. Like that idea that we need to get our energy, our only source of energy is food is just flawed. It's incorrect. We do get our energy from within. There is an energy source that's within us. And, you know, once we start testing ourselves a little bit, challenging ourselves a little bit with the fasting, we start to realize the power that's inside of us. And fasting really helps us to connect to that deep spiritual energy. And once we get in contact with that, then there's nothing that you can't do as far as healing, as far as changing, as far as manifesting or creating anything that you want in your life.
Yes, definitely. Most certainly. That's been so fascinating and just really lovely to see that this is just so achievable for everybody to do in the little space that you've got, you know, with maybe a chair, some bottles of water or dumbbells from our local, you know, I mean, I think Audi's, we've got Audi in Australia and they always sell gym equipment, but they're not expensive. Even Kmart has dumbbells, which is like our Walmart. So everything's achievable. And yeah, it's like getting up a little bit earlier to do it, or incorporating it into the children's routine in the morning.
Or when the children come home from school, or it's something you're doing on your lunch break, or it's something you're doing before bed, you know, or if it's something that you can get one or two of these sessions by yourself, and then you've got two more with the kids and or with the rest of the family or something like that. So there's some time that you're getting to focus on healing just you and focusing on you, and then there's some time where you're doing it along with the kids, because it can't always be about mom, especially when the kids are young. I understand.
So you're saying 2 of these sessions is enough a week, with 2 maybe walk, jogs, or swims, or yoga?
I mean, you can get 4 of these in a week, wonderful. But I mean, I tell people shoot for 2 for sure, and then if you can get those additional 2 walk, jogs, or hikes, or bikes, or rollerblade, or whatever your favorite activity is for getting out and getting moving.
Yeah. Brilliant.
And combining that with the detox process, and I think you guys, you're on your way.
Yeah, they are. They're doing really, really well. We're really, it's that first stage of when it's unlearning what we've learned and allowing ourselves to sit in our bodies with actually realizing that we feel so much better eating this way, and that it gives us so much. And that we can pull out so much old waste and toxicity and free our bodies to be who they really should be, like the true self underneath. It's very powerful.
Amazing. Yeah. Congratulations to everyone in the program.
Yeah, they're doing really well. And I will leave underneath this video links of how they can contact you and the programs that you do. As well, because I think you're an inspiration with what you do, and there's not that many people that are combining proper nutrition and proper functional exercise. You've got a lot of functional medicine, a lot of functional exercise people that are very paleo and keto, and and it's just causing more and more inflammation within the body.
Agreed.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Yes, please, put my contacts out. If anyone wants any additional help or support, I'd be really happy to talk with anyone further.
Brilliant. Well, thank you so much for your time today.
You're welcome.
Really great.
See you again very soon.